Like, this is what I've had to put up with for 69 uncut. 69, guys. Is the one you've all been waiting for, frankly, for I don't know what reason. What could possibly be the... Anyway, guys, today we're going to talk about how professional football players choose their football boots. Obviously, we have a lot of them in front of us, but if we were professional players, how would we choose between all of these? As per usual, we have 10 minutes on the clock.
Cool,
right there. And we're just going to go through all the reasons and the considerations that pros, they actually go through when they have to decide which boots they have to wear. Now, of course, remember that if you need new boots and you're not necessarily a pro, you get them given, you can buy all of them if you click right there on the link on your screen next to Jolter's face, so you can go and shop. Crazy. But boots, Jolter. Why do pros choose to wear a certain boot?
There's various reasons. I can think of a few right off the bat.
Uh-huh.
Why? Because man's clever.
Wow, okay.
And I'm sharp. It's early in the morning, but I'm ready for this. First things first, Obviously, if you have a contract with a brand, you are pretty much put into a silo.
True.
So, in a way, some players just get given boots. Here, wear this. Whether you like it or not, we pay you to put this on. Enjoy. Have fun.
Yes.
This is one reason. Technically, money. And from that side, I wanted to go even closer because, obviously, what brands do is that they put players into boots that, should reflect their position on the pitch. So this is what we see a lot. So this is, I'm not saying that's how the pros choose the boots, but that's many times how they are given the boots. Second reason is obviously what they like. So of course, before you sign with any brand, you have a choice to not sign with that brand in case you don't like their boots.
Yes.
Or even if you're given opportunities to sign with whoever, but you don't feel comfortable with the boots, then you can wear whatever you want.
Exactly.
But obviously, the high-level professionals, they usually have a contract with the boot, whether they get own money or they only get given boots, But obviously, they have a choice if they like a boot or not.
Yeah, and that's kind of the two factors we have. There's money and there's preference here.
Yeah.
But what I really wanted to dive into was how much each of the two things matter. Because obviously for the, should we say, the highest paid players out there, money matters a lot. As you said, they're being paid a lot of money and being put into a certain silo or a certain boot or a certain colorway by the brands. And then there's also for a lot of players some a big chunk of preference that plays into the whole selection. So I kind of wanted to distinguish, between where does money take over and kind of dictate what players wear and where does preference take over. Because we can see on players like Gareth Bale, he's being put into the X by Adidas, and he's been the X player or the Adi Zero player for a long, long time. We can see it on Neymar, the Nike Mercurial. I mean, he's always more or less worn the Nike Mercurial, but then all of a sudden he was slapped into the Hypervenom. And then he wore the Hypervenom for, the duration of the Hypervenom 1 when it was really good. Then Nike slapped him into the Hypervenom 2, which was not very good. And then he decided, you know what? I don't like to wear the Hypervenoms, but they wanted him to wear the Hypervenoms. He couldn't go back to wearing the Vapors at the time. So they made him wear a disguised Vapor 10, looking like a Hypervenom 2.
Classic move.
I mean, this is just where, money really takes over, because at some point in when a player is too big for the brands to just say, you know what, wear whatever you want. They're the face of a silo. It really, they can just go in and say, yo, you can't wear anything but this because we need you to tell this story. What players wearing boots out there is credibility to the brands.
Of course.
I mean, paying players a lot of money is, of course, paying. Does Cristiano really sell enough Superflies to justify the, ridiculous amount of money he gets from Nike? I'm not so sure.
Yeah, but that's branding. It's one of those things that it's always going to be kind of difficult to measure. Another thing I wanted to touch on is that, instead of just talking about, for example, Neymar, who can basically say, look, guys, I'm gonna wear the Vapor, but let's just change everything about it. And then Nike will be like, all right, what do you want?
Cristiano with the lower collar, Messi gets
we all know the deal, but like, I remember, for example, here in the Nordics, like when we look at professional teams that are pro teams, but are not filled with superstars. Many times, if, for example, this certain pro team, they have a contract with a kit supplier, then if their players don't have like a deal with a brand, they will have to also then move into Puma boots.
Exactly.
And many times, especially like, now we're talking players who are getting paid tens of millions a year to wear boots. But then like there's a huge chunk of pros who only basically get like care packages. So they get boots sent to them every 3 months, maybe 5 pairs here.
And they don't even get paid to wear them. They basically just get the boots sent and said like, yo, if you want to wear these, you can wear these. And pros like free boots. So of course they're going to wear them. And that's also another thing, like 5 to 10 years ago, all the brands were just like out there picking out even like the pro players on not even the highest or second highest level. They were just, taking pros everywhere to have as much, should we say, exposure as possible. But now it seems like the trend is kind of turning a little bit because we're seeing more and more pros actually just wearing whatever their club's kit supplier.
What has Daniel Sturridge been wearing lately? Has he been wearing Hypervenom once?
Hypervenom once, man.
Yeah, look, man. I watched the last 2 games against Chelsea, of course, and I was like, is my man really rocking the Hypervenom one? I was like, damn, like, he's keeping real. He's definitely choosing them based on he just loves how they feel and perform.
And you gotta respect that.
No F's given, like, what any Nike guy is gonna tell him, like, yo, why you're not in the new Phantom or whatever.
I think he honestly got sick of it and was just like, yo, I'm making too much money right here. I can decide to wear whatever I want. And it's basically just so he's basically putting preference over money. I think a lot of pro players out there, if they don't really care too much about what they're wearing, obviously, and someone comes with a big bag of money and say, yo, we want to pay you $10 million a year to wear this. And they're like, cool, I can wear this, but I want it customized to fit my foot exactly.
Yeah, but it totally makes sense. Like, we all know, we all have like teammates who are deeply passionate about their boots and like, use the boot cream after every training, and you already know. And then there's also the guys who don't, really, it's a boot, as long as it's not 3 sizes too big, they're fine, And imagine with those guys, like, they will happily take, somebody comes and says, hey, I'll give you $1 million a year if you wear this. It's like, really? Sign me up, man.
But that's the thing. And the funny thing is, like, we see, for instance, with the Predator, there's a lot of people wearing the Predator 18 Plus, but we also get a lot of players wearing the 18.1s or even the 18.1s with a leather toe box because, they don't have the option of a leather Addy boot anymore apart from the Copa, and they don't want to wear the Copa. So what really made me think was a player like Mesut Özil, for instance. Do you think he's paid to actually wear the 18 Plus, the laceless version, instead of the one with the laces? Because we've seen him train in the laced one, the 18.1, a couple of times. I mean, I'm just thinking, do you get paid enough money to wear something you maybe don't exactly want to wear?
It could be the case, This, I guess, is one of those things we will never find out. But in the end, I would think that, there's something the players can do about it. Like, even if you are Neymar and you are the face of the Hypervenom, if you say, look, guys, I will not play a single minute more with the Hypervenom 2. Do whatever you gotta do. But I'm not gonna put it on. I don't care if I lose money. I don't care. I will put it on.
Fair play.
Yeah.
And another thing I wanted to touch on is that when players then get older and, they're not as attractive to the brands anymore, see Fernando Torres or Andres Iniesta, even Wayne Rooney, just like recent examples, when they're not as interesting anymore because either they get old or they move to, say, Japan or the States, and they're not at the same level of, hype anymore, they start wearing other boots and other brands and different types of boots.
Yes.
The funny thing is, Fernando Torres has been, with Nike, he's been with Adidas, then he moved to Japan and signed with Mizuno. Actually, he wanted to wear Mizuno boots. He started wearing a whiteout Mizuno boot because obviously he didn't want to give them free marketing. And now he's signed on, Iniesta went to Japan as well. He's been a Nike guy his entire life. Like rocking, the CTR boots, the Magistas, all that stuff. Got signature colorways, all that jazz. At least when he quit. And now he's not wearing Nike anymore. Rooney went back to wearing his old T90 laces. I mean,
what a guy!
This is the stuff I'm talking about. It also tells a story about how when money isn't a factor, players wear sometimes something else.
One last point I wanted to make about.
Time's up.
Time's up?
Yeah, there's no. I forgot to turn on the sound.
Potentially the time went up a long time ago.
No,
already.
I just saw it now.
Okay. But one thing I wanted to point out is that, many of my, for example, my old teammates who are playing professionally now, one of the factors they also have when choosing boots is the cool factor. Like I know guys who have, for example, these deals that they get sent 10 pairs a season by a certain brand, but they would rather wear
something
the other
else.
brand.
Okay.
And they are maybe hoping that, because there are certain criteria.
Yeah.
For example, if you want to sign with, let's say, Nike, like you can't just call Nike and be like, yo, what's up? Like, hey, I'm a pro. Like, you need to play enough at a certain level.
Of course.
So.
And that's a thing we can discuss in another video because our time is up. That sometimes pro players are signed with a brand and then they want to wear something else. I mean, I recently saw a picture of this guy wearing a Nike Mercurial Vapor 12, which he had disguised as a Nemesis, like with stripes and Addy stripes and all. So people go to different lengths in order to wear whatever they want. But
And even when you don't get paid, it might be a factor that somebody says, look, I will give you 10 pairs of boots for free a season, instead of you having to buy them or maybe whatever. You know what I mean?
You take them. So that's kind of the deal. Money, of course, matters, and then preference to a lot of players out there also matters a lot. So it's a kind of a mixed bag. But of course, the brands, the money, they talk a lot. And also, with that said, I think it's time we end this ordeal. Like I said, if you don't, really, if you're not a puppet of the brands, you wanna decide for yourself what you wanna wear. Well, basically, you're lucky because we have everything your heart desires. So if you want new boots and if you want to make the choice yourself, you can go and do so on unisportstore.com. If you click the link right down there, tell us, why do you think pros choose to wear what they choose to wear? You should let us know in the comment section right down below. Before you go, if you're new here, you should also make sure you subscribe to the channel with the notifications on, of course, to see all the latest videos the moment they drop. And if you want to see even more stuff, top 5s, uncuts, could be everything, click the playlist on your screen right now as well. And with that said, guys, we're signing off.
We out.